So,
All right, so I have a thought for the day. So there's an Irish saying that goes like this: "It is in the shelter of each other that people live." So as I welcome you all back to the fullness of Homeboy, it is true. In the shelter of each other, we choose to live. We choose to live in each other's hearts. So shelter means, like a safe place during a storm or comfort in a time of trouble. The word shelter also comes from shield. It's a way of protection, fortify yourself, and gain some resilience. So there are a lot of reasons why you walk through the swinging of these doors, we always call it. So I remember a couple weeks ago, a homie who I didn't know, who was released from prison after a really long stretch. He had never been here before, and there he was sitting in front of my desk. And so I was writing on a piece of paper, drug test any Friday at 10. And while I'm writing that, making conversation, I said, how did you hear about Homeboy? And he goes, oh, some female told me about it. Her kids were fathered by you. And I stopped writing, and what now? And then he kind of shook himself, and he went, I mean, her kids were baptized by you. I said, yeah, well, that's kind of entirely different. But anyway, the reason he walked through the swinging of that doors was because he was seeking shelter, a safe place. In the storm, comfort in a troubled time. And people are drawn to this choice to live in each other's hearts. So years ago, a woman named Ashley Williams, who was a American missionary in Guatemala City, she kept writing me all these letters and trying to get me to come to Guatemala City. And then she sent me this picture. I'm going to ask Caesar to hold it up. And she's in the middle of all these homies in a Guatemala prison, and their faces are like alarmingly tattooed. And it's really a kind of a high-level prison for gang members mainly. And she said, please come and visit. And in the picture, every single one is holding up with big old smiles a copy of Tattoos on the Heart in Spanish. So myself and kind of a little delegation, about 5 of us, went down to Guatemala City. We visited with her a lot of places, a women's prison. I did a mass there. And then we went to this place. And it's so high security, it's weird, so they wouldn't let me meet with this group. So they put me in a room with these other people who I was with, and then the walls were covered with guys leaning against them with big old weapons and ski masks. And each one of these homies, each one was escorted alone, walking down this long hallway with a sack over their head, so they kind of disoriented, and so they wouldn't know where they were going. I don't get it, but anyway, they came in, and as they took the sack off, they would see Ashley at the entrance to this room, and they go, well, what's happening? And in Spanish, she'd say, it's Father Greg, and each one I could hear them go, en vivo? In person. And so then they come and sat in front of me, and we had this conversation, and hugely tattooed, the outcasts, the people cut off, the most demonized, no surprise to anyone, wildly kind, open-hearted, unshakably good. Well, I found out later that though they all had a copy of the book, only one of these vatos knows how to read. And so every day they'd sit packed in this cell, and one guy stood and he read the book. And he would follow, there were no light bulbs, he would follow this little stream of light and coming through the window, and a little beam through the bars, and until the light would disappear, and they would try it again the next day. that's what we do here. We're trying to make the most of the light. Indeed, it's true that it is in the shelter of each other that people live. That's where we live. We choose to live in each other's hearts, making the most of